Southern California has a new modern home for NFL football, and it is this place, wondrous SoFi Stadium here in Inglewood.
Today, we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate
between the Las Vegas Raiders
and the Los Angeles Chargers. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway in Southern California.
Here's a six-year man, Austin Eckler.
And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Herbert got an open man. It's Josh Palmer.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he'll wind up taking this all the way down to the Raiders' 29-yard line. 38 yards on the scamper there. Facing short yardage on 3rd down, but he was able to pick up a very sizable gain.
He certainly was, and I think that maybe they were fooled a little bit because you and I both know this is a passing league, and that's not normally a running down, and they fooled him with it. Safety had to make the play. Otherwise, he's still running, and the next thing, he runs right into the goalpost.
Bringing him down defensively, Jayon Brown.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, that was his first target of the game, and it's going to take at least one more target to get him on the board. Took a nice substantial hit to jar that catch loose from him. Incomplete pass.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. That catch for his career's number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
2nd down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. It's Eckler again. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down.
From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here.
Hopkins' kick is good.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield. Mission accomplished. Points on the board.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Now, first carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Carr going to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 61 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Max Crosby is really starting to get his due around the league as one of the best young pass rushers in the game. 25 sacks in his first 3 seasons.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. Herbert now. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. Touchdown, Chargers. Keenan Allen, a 24-yard touchdown, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Still going. And he will score. Touchdown, Raiders.
Well, he made the right choice by result. but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Charger drive about to get going.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partners, a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Up the middle with Eckler. And he's got some space here. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
82 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
From the 50, here's Herbert. Williams brings it in. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Herbert.
They'll get this over the middle here to Palmer. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Herbert operating from the red zone. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Eckler will take this into the end zone for a Charger touchdown.
He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Carr's throw pulled in by Renfro. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10. To throw, it's Carr. Back to Renfro again, complete. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a 1st down. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Now Carr. And that is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. To throw is Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Khalil Mack drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Carlson is good. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Charger drive about to get going. And they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, their first 2 drives yielded touchdowns, so there's no reason for them to feel like they have to pull back on the reins. They pushed it downfield, looking for another one right there. Didn't get it, but we know they're going to continue to be bold.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Herbert caught by Allen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Herbert. And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Herbert. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer. Touchdown. Josh Palmer, 30 yards. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lock.
Oh, looking for Water, but this is intercepted.
Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Throwing on first down is Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. On the move past the 40. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
24 yards the gain there. Another first down as well.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 33. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they had the big halftime lead. Their defense just helped them out further by forcing the turnover, so things are starting to look pretty rosy.
They certainly are, but they've got to be careful about getting complacent, though. They still need to go out and run their offense efficiently.
Eckler now between the tackles. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. 113 yards rushing for him now here in Week 1. A very solid start to this new campaign.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They just had... Again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Once more, here's Eckler, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try the air now with Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Allen. Keenan Allen halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Chargers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 62 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 7 yards on the carry, make it 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he's got it on. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 16-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to cut into that deficit. Now, this opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but, yeah, that touchdown may be a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. The Charger drive about to get going. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Eckler going to get it again on second down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Allen's got it complete, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Here's Herbert. Able to hook up with Williams here on the out route. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. To throw again on second down.
Herbert, quick slant complete to Keenan Allen. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Draw play, it's Eckler, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him, 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Herbert's throw taken in by Palmer. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. It's Eckler again. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter. Looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips. They're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out. And we've got them now. I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Herbert on 3rd down now. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On 3rd down, it's Spiller.
And he'll be taken down at at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it. They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Chargers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. What now? The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news there. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Raiders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2. Carr will look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And they will take a knee here. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for third down. This is a counter play. Eckler. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. They find some open field here. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Once again, it's Jacobs. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Now Carr. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to... And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for one here. And it's good, so that will get them back within one score. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1.
Now, this was not just the opener of a brand-new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division, you knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Chargers, they begin the new year 1-0 as they come out victorious here.